Welcome to Bits and Pieces. This is the third week of August, part 2 of what I was cooking as I was trying to use up the things in my pantry. So this is what I got out of the garden on this day, which was some scapes for garlic chives, some seeds from my lemon basil, and a very few cherry tomatoes. So Friday night I made some boudin sausage. Am I pronouncing that right? Boudin, I don't know. And just made it into a sandwich with some of the clearance bread using some barbecue sauce. And I roasted some of the vegetables I'd gotten on clearance with the Creole seasoning and served that up. That actually was a very good dinner, very simple. And then Saturday morning, this is my harvest. With some rain and temperatures under 100, I'm getting a lot more tomatoes. They're still tiny. And then I just skipped breakfast and had a iced coffee that I made. And all the tomatoes I had, I decided to go ahead and make a spaghetti sauce. So I threw in the tomatoes, some garlic, onion. The Romas came off clearance. The little ones came from my garden. The garlic came from my garden. Added some salt and olive oil. And I just roasted it. And while that was cooking, I made myself a sandwich with some of the leftover boudin sausage and some of the bread I'd gotten on clearance and served it up with some grapes. Really simple lunch. I was very happy with that. And when the tomatoes came out of the oven, I added the garlic chives, scapes, along with some basil and oregano from the garden, blended it up, let it simmer, added a little bit of nutritional yeast. I also added a little bit of baking soda to kind of keep it from being quite so acidic. And then I put it in this container and froze it to use later. I'm liking these little containers I got from Aldi, by the way, for freezing up sauces. So good morning. I'm starting to make biscuits. I'm down to the end of the buttermilk, and I am just a little shy of having enough for a single batch of biscuits. But I have this plain yogurt from that I got on clearance. So I'm going to use a little bit of it. Open that up to see if I can get to the full 3/4 cup that I need. This is an experiment, but we will see how that works. I just need a little bit, so I'm going to add it until I hit the 3/4 cup mark with that buttermilk. Almost there. There it is. So that's what we're using. Plain yogurt. We'll see how it goes. So the yogurt did okay. In the biscuits, I used some of the leftover boudin and some fruit and called that breakfast. And that was my Sunday morning harvest of just a handful of tomatoes. And then I went ahead and I started to make some homemade mayonnaise. So it's the usual egg, mustard powder, paprika, salt, lemon juice, distilled vinegar, and then I drizzled the oil in. I'd run out of vegetable oil, so I was using the avocado oil that I've had. And then I took out what I needed to make a remoulade sauce and added half cup of the yogurt and that Gorgonzola cheese that I'd gotten at Aldi to make a blue cheese dressing. I found a recipe called for like 2 ounces of the cheese. It wasn't enough, so I added more. And then for lunch, I had, I guess, a lunch and dinner, because this was like my final meal for the day. Some of the various vegetables I had with the corn and bean I had left over from making the rice bowl previously. And I topped it with the homemade blue cheese dressing. This turned out really good. It's a very mild blue cheese, but I like it. Then I went ahead and packed my lunch with another salad. The little blue container has some of the blue cheese dressing, and it's grapes and blackberries. I have to go into the office on Monday, which is why I went ahead and packed my lunch. And I used some of the leftover roast chicken for that. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. And thank you for joining us here at Bits and Pieces.